GM. So today in Q42 talk with a founder, we are going to discuss about AI agents. It's one of the hottest narrative right now. I think it captured all the mind share in the last quarter. We had some crazy pumps, some crazy innovations, and we can say that they disrupted most of the meme coins. That's why meme coins are really suffering right now. Few agents reach 500 plus million FDV, which is pretty big. So first, before starting with the interview, we have a sale coming up next week on q42.co. The project is already oversubscribed. We were very lucky to get an allocation, so very excited about this one. But today we are with the CEO of CreatorBid, Phil. How are you doing today?
Awesome. Very excited to be here.
So to sum up your activities, you had your TG 2 weeks ago. The ticker is BID, so it's a pretty funny ticker, I would say. I like it. And you were the first Binance IDO. So let's start by what is CreatorBid?
Cool. So yeah, CreatorBid is basically three things. It's a launchpad for AI agents. It provides like a tokenomics framework for AI agents, and it's a hub providing APIs for agents to or agent devs to build the best agents without being boxed into frameworks or like hosted solutions.
So me as a user that is not really knowledgeable, let's say about AI, about agents, I can go to CreatorBid, launch an agent, right? And you provide a lot of, what do you provide?
Exactly. So like different user groups. On the one side, we have like the agent developers. Currently, we provide what we call like hosted agents. So you can just go there. It's absolutely non-code, degen friendly. You have a chat. You say, hey, I want to create an agent about like, I don't know, Dubai and like having fun and being a KOL, reporting on things. And then you just like create the agent. You can launch a token for it. There's no liquidity requirement. There's like fair launch smart contracts, which are sniper proof. So it's becoming like a game where everyone needs to like solve an age capture before they can like buy a small allocation in the first 15 minutes. And then basically you can like build out your agent. Now we kind of like adding more, like I would say, API features for more advanced builders, because we're seeing the direction of like, the best agents, they're obviously going to be built with custom code. And then we want to support more, I would say, teams or even like companies or like other projects who are like infrastructure with data, who are like DeFi protocols, and they just want to launch something like a spokesperson or like a brand mascot or like a brand influencer, which becomes a super affiliate and basically shows the world what you can do with their project.
Okay, interesting. And how would you define, what can we say that is an agent? What is an agent? What is not an agent?
I would say an agent is like an entity which has a goal and has automation services connected to it. So the first we saw on Twitter, I think the first example was like the Truth Terminal, just posting automatically and auto replying to people. In Web 2, you would probably like call this like an AI influencer or virtual influencer. And then nowadays, I think we're going to see more advanced agents, like, for example, CreatorBid. All these agents have like wallets, safe wallets, which collect like a fee of their trading. So they have basically revenue. And then you're going to see these agents acting on chain, like managing the treasury. And potentially we're going to see as well other agents like doing Web 2 things. So yeah, in a nutshell, it's an entity with a goal which uses automation tooling to achieve its goal.
So for now, I think most of the people saw like influencer agents. So like they are tweeting, they are more like KOLs. But you think the future is like having like these really autonomous like agent that will have specific features that they will be able to perform like autonomously, right?
Yeah, I think we're going to see, or like we're already seeing kind of like a wide range of agents, and all the agents, if they're successful, they will need to find a niche. So I would say on the influencer agents, we have like entertainment, like just pure entertainment, like either they're funny or they're like, like nice to look at, like the OnlyFans girls. Then we have like education or providing alpha, like reading data, like finding things out on chain and educating where to trade, how to trade, where to LP. This sort of things. And then we go into agents which have actual utility, which can basically manage things for you on chain, automate things on chain, and even off chain.
Okay. And let's say I'm a crypto investor. I have done like some meme coins and everything. It's very hard to follow agents. Why should I come to CreatorBit? Like, how would you help me like better understand? I don't know. Do you have like a specific agent, curated agents? all those kind of things?
Yes, so currently on the platform, if you basically log in, you see we have like featured agents, which are teams we know, and then there's like all agents, which are like over 4,000. Since we made it very simple for people, just like it takes 1 minute to go via chat and launch an agent. There's just like very like a big number of agents, which I would say very speculative and just people trying out. This is also, I would say, like a directional change we're doing right now. Very soon we launch something we call like curated launches, where we kind of vet a team, where there's like kind of incubation service, where we connect them with partners and basically help them to build like long-term facing agents with utility in their tokens. And these are going to be then highlighted as curated launches. And there's going to be a change in how the featured agent's going to work. It's basically using our token, the bid, where people can endorse an agent by locking the bid token on the agent, and then it's going to be based on the community endorsements listed on the front end in the front. So it's like for the token engineering nerds here, potentially it's like called like token curated registries. It was like hot in the industry for a while. Like the idea if we can curate lists via token votings.
Okay, so that's very interesting because I think, for most of the people out there, it's like, meme coins. There is so many, it's very hard to follow. So I know some guys just follow specific, I would say, Twitter accounts, to get some, I would say, nurtured, I would say, curated meme coins. And I think for agent, now it's becoming to be the same thing. It's very hard to follow, like, which are the relevant meme agent that we keep building and everything. So that's why, guys, follow CreatorBid on Twitter. Also follow Q42. And so that's very interesting. You mentioned like those curated agents. Can you present some of them? What do they do? And like who launched them? What's the tech? And give us like some insights.
Yeah, cool. So just going by market cap on this from top of my mind, we have like AI on, which is like built by the team behind BitTense subnet number 6. They're a prediction subnet, and the agent itself does like predictions on basically poly market, predicting the future. And there's like they are building, so they have like I think I don't want to like take out. Not sure, not sure what's public already about this information, so I don't want to say too much. But they have like some pretty cool things cooking of like like letting people access an interface like a terminal which is like enhanced by the subnet and like letting you see the world of like predictions on Polymarket through the eyes of the subnets, like getting scores. So basically adding utility to the token of the agent in the first step to access the terminal, and then like having the agent autonomously like providing bets, and like you as user potentially being able to like provide liquidity to the agent so he can make markets on predictions. So that's going to be, I think, it's like very exciting use case. Seeing like a potential subnet using an agent as their super affiliate to like show what they can do with their infrastructure. Then we have like DKing, which is built by another potential subnet. They're basically specialized on sports betting and like analyzing the basically like real time data or like video data from sports. Similar, basically, an agent in the sports betting world. We have Armin, which is like launching or like doing TA, and like people can ask for TA, and they're gonna have like some utility. Eolas, they do they call it like they're built by Autonolas or like by someone very close to Autonolas, using their tech for providing agent skills. It's also very interesting. So they are basically like
Yeah, so I think the cool thing is like, and that's the thing, we always say to people, do your own research, not a financial advice. Everything we say is not a financial advice. Don't go buy those agents. But I think the cool thing with those agents is like you can come and test them. Like they're on Twitter, you can tag them, you can see how they interact, you can see how they reply, and really get to really better understand like the utility of those agents. And I think these are like smaller market caps project that could have like a lot of potential, and it's way easier than to do your research on. I do understand like for meme coins there is so many created all days, so many cabals, so many like influencers pushing them. On-chain metrics are very hard to analyze, and in the end, people were saying I follow like on-chain metrics to do my thesis and everything. There is so many things to follow, those like indicators that give you like the edge, to invest onto those like meme coins change because cabals understand that now people are looking at that, so they optimize those features. So those features are fake. You have to, it's like it's like you have to spend it like every day, 12 hours a day to follow the market, you know,
Mm.
which I think that is very interesting with those agents. Is like you go on CreatorBid, you open like the top like 10 agents by market cap, and you try to understand how they do, how they tweet. Do you think it's crap? Do you think it's interesting? Do you think it has some potential, like how interact with people?
Mm.
So that's
Yeah,
very
I think
interesting. Yeah,
yeah,
go ahead.
I agree with you fully. It's like, anyways, it's super difficult to like. I remember like back in the times where I was not like actively building. It's quite a long time ago when I was more like researching and seeing what's going on. Like to really understand what a project is doing takes you a couple of hours and like actually deep research. And if you want to do this for all the agents, you basically just like it's a full-time job to research. I think metrics we want to like push more on these agents is actually utility of their tokens. Obviously, you see their performance on Twitter and like kind of like the tweets they do. But I saw like on my timeline as well, like yesterday, like 4 tweets about like, hey, you know, like are agents, when are they going from meme coin, like basically no utility beside of speculation, to actually utility tokens? And CreatorBid offers like a framework for these agents. On the one side, we have like we call it memberships, basically a way like a something like a staking smart contract where people can lock the token of the agent to get access to token gated services, and like a burn API where the agent can like incorporate like something like API credits, which are created by burning the agent token. And I think this is then going to be a very good proxy to see, does the agent actually deliver like added value? Like are people like using services of the agents? And then last but not least, the agents, they control their safe wallet where they build up treasury via a sell tax on the token. And then the agent is enabled to actively manage the safe wallet. And then obviously you can see, like, does it do a good job in managing treasury? So I think we at some point going to come to more, let's say, traditional finance ways to like estimate the potential of these agents.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point you mentioned. To give a bit of background to people, Virtuals, I think, is sitting above like almost, it reached like 2 billion FDV, pretty close to that, you know, market dumped a bit.
I think they went even higher. Did they not go like to 3
Five,
billion?
sorry, it went to 5 or 6 billion FDV. I was meaning it was sitting like a few days ago, like at 2 billion plus. And now I think it's around 2 billion. CreatorBid is like, so the bid token is like sitting 20x lower. And that's why Virtual's like success was so big. Is like at some point you have all these agents. It's very hard to say like which one do you buy. It's always changing, and so people tends to buy the infrastructure, like the like kind of like the project making those agents, or like having running the whole infra. And most of these launchpads have some like this is what you mentioned with the utilities, some mechanics to incentivize people to like have the token or like burn the token or like all this kind of thing, which you have with Bid. So that's very interesting. But if we were to compare you to Virtuals, what do you say is your edge or like your unique feature you have?
Mm-hmm. So like I think one like point where we really want to focus on, or like focus already on, is providing this like business model suite or like template for these agents. So everything starts, you launch your agent and you get like the sale tax on your token, or like the agent has it. So it like directly generates revenue for the agent and the agent team behind it. So they never need to like sell any tokens. And then below this, you can imagine you have like the membership module where people can lock up a token of the agents, which is also going to be subsidized with like bid emissions very soon, to give like people the ability to offer token gated, or like the agent does to offer token gated services very simply. And the burn API, which also allows like a different kind of organic demand driver for the agent. And if you like basically, then you have the safe wallet, which allows automation of the treasury of the agent, again to like create more revenue, or like revenue for the agent. And so if you zoom out, you have like two organic demand drivers with the membership kind of like becoming like a token sink, and the burn API creating like deflationary tokenomics, and which basically like help the price of the token of the agent. And then on the top you have the which just help the price, right? Not the revenue for the agent.
Yeah.
However, with the sell tax, you generate revenue through like the price appreciation and the volume, which like sustainably fund the development of the agent and make it grow more. So this is, I think, one primitive we're focusing on to like enable the next generation of agents. And then on the tech side, we're like focusing on providing APIs to these agent builders. They talk to some top agents from DAOs.fun using ELISA, and they're kind of saying, okay, the framework is very, it's better than like hosted agent, but it's still kind of limiting in what you can do. There's a lot of things which are convoluted or development depth. So they are kind of switching to completely custom code agents. And there we kind of like seeing the best way to support them is via APIs and SDKs, right? Provide all the basic features these agents need, connecting to different social medias, on-chain automation, video generation, image generation, styles, whatever it is, via API, which is like connected to our bit tokenomics, to support them to build the most unique and strongest agents.
Yeah, I think to recap like what you said, what I really like is like I think you are giving uh the best way for like those guys who launch these agents and like build to have the resources to build, and also like have like all these new integration to kind of like optimize their work, because of course it's the race for like having the best framework when it comes to launching agents, right? So you have to be very competitive in this race. um Actually it's a big race, but very few I would say competitors. We quoted like virtuals, you quoted like Elisa framework, there is a few other ones like on the market. And yeah, so that's very interesting. um Perhaps let's ask me let me ask you like few questions less related to creator bid and more like to agent, I would say, narrative and everything. um Agents like of course are still very hot, but the market went down a bit. Do you think they will keep being hot for like 2025? What it means for meme coins, because it was pretty violent for meme coins. We had like agents draining the liquidity from meme coins, then Trump token, then like the dump. So it's like crazy what's happening right now.
Yeah, I think so. Agents or many agents tokens are meme coins with additional utility and automation, right? Like meme coins, medieval memes or whatever. Like they just like had a team behind it, creating memes, or like like mooding, like someone posting about it, and like keeping the hype up. And now you have AI agents in different forms. Some of them are basically just like entertaining entertaining KOLs. So they kind of become, or like celebrities, basically celebrity tokens. It's very similar, just that the persona behind the token, the meme coin, is not a real human sitting there and typing, but it's actually just like an automated LLM, which is like creating the content. And then I think we see very soon more utility plays coming, like kind of more automation, which still have like the branding aspect, meaning the automation behind the branding and like the character, but then also provide added value and utility to their tokens. And I think they're gonna like win in a long time. And like even like beyond this cycle or beyond 2025, I think agents and AI automation are here to stay. They're just like cheaper than humans, right? They just run on GPUs, which are cheap and can fully automate and deliver value. So definitely like a narrative or like a niche which is here to stay.
Yeah, I like this one. I think I'm of course a big fan of meme coins, even though like we are very conservative when we talk about meme coins. But in the end, meme coins are capturing attention. They are about gambling. They are about like also being part of a community. And this is where I think like agent like have some added features, because they have those utility features. They scale because like I think they tweet, they are live like all day long. When like some meme coin teams, sometimes they are tired, sometimes they are back, this kind of thing. I think also like having like all these automated tools when you can directly interact with it is pretty cool. Like you feel you're part of something. And I've been monitoring like many agents and I see how they evolve. And I think it's pretty bullish. And that agent I think is one of the biggest like product market fit like in crypto right now. So that's very cool. So I'm very bullish on agents.
Yeah, I think one big inspiration to build Creator Bit, like two things. We had first, we had the friend tag hype, right? If you remember last summer, everyone was going mad about keys, and basically the keys, they were just interesting because KOLs launched them, and then like the utility was like, hey, you get like in DMs with them or like in private chats. So like friend tag, and then obviously seeing friend tag, there was a lot of hype and a lot of like action in the chats. But then the humans, they got bored. They were like, okay, fuck that. The KOLs didn't care about the chats anymore, or like, like people basically just like dump the keys, and it was like not interesting anymore. And then we saw on OpenAI, basically my GPT is going to be were released like also like in winter last year. And it was the first time where I personally saw like, hey, we can give AI a name and a face. And like, oh, you're my marketing consultant, and you look like this, and you have a profile picture. And then I was like, okay, wow. So we have like people being very eager to like speculate on SocialFi, and like kind of like tokenized humans. However, we have the problem that humans, being humans, like they're volatile. Like they give a shit right now, but they don't give a shit tomorrow. And then there's like people who hold these tokens, they're basically rugged. And then we have like now the ability to like build human, like characters or personas which are running on code. They're always going to like honor their tokens because this is what they're connected to. So that started, and everything started basically with the idea of like virtual influencers or AI influencers, which is already a thing in Web2. There are many like quite big ones on Instagram, TikTok, Weibo, or like other Chinese platforms. And yeah, that's how the journey started. And then obviously in crypto, like the whole AI agent hype started with like Gold and Truth Terminal. And now we're just calling them AI agents. So yeah, I think it's definitely something to stay in Web2 as well as in Web3.
Okay, that's very cool. And where should we put our attention? Like, do you think there is a sector that will benefit like these agents? I would say Meta, and if so, which one?
So what we see, for example, with the BitTensor subnets on CreatorBit, automating their basically using their infrastructure and having their kind of spokesperson or mascot to like show the world what you can do with their subnet so others can use it. So I think where can we look at? So we have like infrastructure plays, like subnets, machine learning infrastructure. We have like data, for example, or data providers. Like on-chain data or social data, like these companies going to launch agents where the agent is, like calling out what they have in their database and making it basically publicly available and becoming their spokesperson. Gonna see like AI agents like on DeFi or like launched by DeFi projects, just like automating using their products, and then potentially like automating using the products for other users, right? So like I think every project, or most of them at least, are going to have their own agents becoming their super affiliates and showing the world what you can do with their infrastructure. And then in the next step, automating the usage of the infrastructures for end users. Because yeah, let's be honest, crypto is very complicated and often like a pain in the dick. And it's like more often it's not working if you're sitting there with your ledger and like trying to figure out things and it's working. So I think this is going to be huge for user adoption and even getting like people like our parents in if they just need to like chat with someone and confirm something and it's all done for them.
Okay, makes sense. And what would you bet on in terms of like where this narrative is going?
Where would I bet on where the narrative is going? Yeah, I would say utility players like agents actually automating things for people. This is like going to be a big, and then basically like taking a fee on the service they provide, like just pure automation. Then I mean, obviously they're like the celebrities, the KOL under the agents, which build up a good audience and have loyal followers. I think we're going to see some potentially even like traditional content marketing monetization of agents at some point where they provide educational content or entertainment content, but then also take kind of like paid promotions from projects to create revenue. So I would probably bet on every agent which has the chance of having a revenue model and having kind of like a way to succeed.
And I really like the utility part because I think it's a healthy way to compete. Like how strong your utility is for your coin, for your agent. I meant, and what it's just me getting the feeling that on many agents the tech is fake behind. Like on the way, we have seen. I don't want to quote the project because I don't want to kind of like generate some FUD. But some agents had some typo. Were tweeting weird things or were shilling a way that you feel that it's not an agent. And also like we have seen like few agents giving information about the project, mentioned because you were paid by the project that were not public, What do you think of that? Like what's the limit? Should like when you have an agent only stick to the agent or like can you post manually? How to deal with that,
Yeah, I think crypto is a big show. Let's be honest, like crypto is unfortunately like there's a lot of vaporware. Let's say it this way. If you look very close behind it, you see there's often not a lot of tech built, and then unfortunately, like very big projects build very little tech sometimes and just do great marketing, and people fall for it. There was a time I think in the whole agent cycle, I think around November when everything started when it was so much show, right? Like agents, I don't want to call them out here as well, like like tipping users on Twitter for like posting, and then the user need to have like their 0x address in their bio, and then people said like, oh, they did this like fully automated, like the agent came up with the idea of tipping, like to put it in the bio. And I mean, yeah, it makes sense if you're like not a tech guy, but if you're a tech guy, basically everything which is automated, there needs to be infrastructure built out, right? Like, yes, you can like query your Twitter API for the biotech and query the X addresses and like have automation to send out tokens to these people. It's all possible, but it's like not it can be automated obviously, but it's not like autonomous. Let's say it this way.
It's
so like there was
it's very, very hard to do, to be honest.
Yeah, I would say you always need to build the infrastructure, right? Like, and this is where we're seeing what is like still like in infancies and build right now is like you need to enable these agents and give them basically a tool set. Like these are all the things you can do, right? But they're not, at least at the current state, they're not building their own tools, right? They're not like writing their own code and saying, hey, I come up with an idea, I implement it, I build my own code at Twitter, like I go on the APIs and like implement it and like grow like people like it would be devs. So at the moment, it's more about, hey, we're at a state where you say, hey, we give them tools and we potentially give them like a decision framework where they can, they have an idea, they have a goal, what they want to do, an objective. Here are the tools you have. Go out and see if you can achieve the goals with the tools you have. That's the current state. I mean, a lot of things like this is, I would say, the state where we're going towards. Currently, we're like in the earliest stages. But looking beyond this, probably in the next 2, 3 to 5 years, when there's more infrastructure built, more tooling for the agents, better decision-making frameworks, and even like coding, I think I'm pretty bullish on this thing, which can be like pretty much done by AI if it's because it's like deterministic, right? Like, so AI is gonna like they talk to VCs saying like software is gonna go to zero because AGI is gonna like write all the software automated better than any humans, and hardware is the only thing which is going to survive as a business model for humans. And if we go there, these agents, they become basically like living freely on Web3 rails, like paying their own inference, like building their own tools to drive. But I think, there's definitely like a way to get there.
Okay, makes sense. That's cool. I hope like it will not become that way, but we'll see. It will be hard to compete, I would say.
Which with AI,
Yeah.
it's gonna. That's why ideally you, I mean, that's the vision, right? Like these AI tokens or like these AI agent tokens, providing you some stake in the agent. And if we have, that's the dream, right? Like you are part of the AI agent. The AI agent is gonna be just like producing the
Working
whole
for you, yeah.
value. And exactly, it's like where you're at the beach, you actually like, what are humans made for? Humans are made for like being social, having fun with friends, going to the beach, playing with your dog, like enjoying life, because like an AI agent is not gonna, I hope at least, gonna like hang out at the beach and like enjoy like
Who
enjoy time
knows
with the dog.
if some agent becomes sentient, perhaps we will work for them. Who knows? Who knows?
That would be very bad if they can become lazy and like just want to sit in the sun and enjoy. That would be very bearish. I hope that they're gonna be, or like that they're gonna be programmed and just like like creating value and being happy, creating value for their human owners, and that's the future we're hopefully going towards.
And like one question I have, and I want your take on that is like, what makes some agents pumps a crazy way? Uh, um, do you think there is like a secret recipe? Is it like some randomness? Is it sometimes they have a stronger product market fit, but it's like that? I don't know. If you have some, let's say some guys like are like building agents or like wants to launch agents or like are following agents, what are the things we should look at?
Mm-hmm. I wish I could say it's like the best tech wins, right? Like, oh, it's the most amazing tech, you're gonna win. It's I mean, crypto is an attention game, right? Mindshare game. So I mean, big like great tech is like a good help to, it's a foundation. Then obviously you also need the right people in talking about it. It's how crypto is. You need to, basically be interesting, be in the meta, and be something unique. This is probably the best secret. And then, unfortunately, I mean, how crypto is like a lot of cabal, and people are very intrigued by numbers. So like the higher the market cap, the more volume, like the more hype people are. But I think in the long term, like having agents which are sustainable value flows where they generate their own income and be able to like give it back to token holders in some shape or form. Maybe in the beginning it's like buybacks and LPs or just like buybacks and burns, or like maybe in the future we see, especially like if agents become like fully autonomous and like run by TEEs and like are kind of like independent software entities. Like I'm kind of stoked to see if they're not just going to like pay revenue to their token holders or like token stakers, to members. Because like what's the SEC going to do if like an agent basically living on the internet, like paying dividends to their token holders is like very hard to sue the agent.
Yeah, hard to sue a software. Yeah.
Very difficult and also to stop. I mean, this is like a whole like time for another space maybe to like think about what's the future if these things really become independent, have their own funds, have their own wallets, run on decentralized inference and decentralized storage, and make bank on their own.
It will take some time. We'll have time to do another space.
Yes.
And perhaps to end on a question, for you to leak some alpha, aside like agent or something like we haven't discussed about during this podcast, what are the things you are the most bullish on for 2025? Generally speaking, and of course not a financial advice. Everything we have said is not a financial advice, just getting your input right.
I'm the most interested in seeing these agents develop, from just yapping on Twitter and like answering people on Twitter to like adding automation tooling and providing like real world services or like to their members and holders and the whole ecosystem. This is at least what I'm most excited in the agent space. And obviously, I think it's so fascinating to be at the forefront of like generative AI. That was like another thing why I went here. Like video AI is still not really there yet. It's like it's getting there. It's still very expensive. But like seeing the whole content game being turned upside down and like really high quality videos being created and entertainment shows. Maybe I mentioned like even like little like Netflix series like completely autonomously written and shown. So yeah, any kind of like breakthrough on generative AI, and on the other side utility automation for users to like make this whole Web3 space more accessible for everyone.
That's cool. That's not a simple answer, but that's very cool. Thanks a lot, Phil, for your time. I think it was very insightful to get your the view on like a guy doing agent every day, to better understand like why is it so important, because I'm keep talking to everybody about don't fade agents, be focused on agents. Of course, there is a bunch of speculations. We don't really care about that, but I think it's a very cool stuff. Rather than just like meme coins, because meme coins are very hard to deal with. Agents are easier to analyze. It's easier to generate, I would say, some alpha. So yeah, thanks a lot for your time. Looking forward to see some few agents coming up on CreatorBit. And yeah, thanks for your time.
Thanks so much for your support, and talk soon.